Sports 630 KIDO, KIDOAM.com, Terry Ford Show. All right, so last night the Miami Heat take out the Chicago Bulls, 96-85. Heat are up 2-1. Tonight, Dallas tries to win 2 in a row in Oklahoma City against the Sonic Thunder. And if Dallas goes up 3-1, heard this today, there's a, 5-6% chance that Oklahoma City could win the series. So let's talk the Final Four with our buddy Kevin Burke, HoopDoctors.com. Hey, man.
Terry Ford, what's going on?
What's up, brother? Okay, so isn't it funny? You and I sat here, I think, after Game 1 when the Bulls, shot 50% from three and everybody made jumpers and their defense was sick and vile and shut down Miami. And everybody said, well, the Bulls are going to sweep this thing. There's no way.
Yep.
And you and I were like, well, how many games did that count? Oh, 1.
Right.
And now here we are. Miami's up 2-1. Now we've done a 180. There's no way Chicago can win another game. Miami's just going to roll through this. Oh my God. It's hilarious how game to game this mess goes.
It is, and it's on the surface it seems like a close series, but it's not. Every game has been decided by double digits or more. So it hasn't really been that close of a series. But yeah, like we said last week, Bosh 30 points in Game 1, Wade and James combined 33 points. Complete 180 since then. But you knew that, Chicago, everything that could have gone right for them in Game 1, like you just said, did. You knew that wasn't going to happen. You can't contain both guys. I mean, so that's not really what's happening. So, of course, it's a flip-flop. And I'm actually on, you kind of said it jokingly, but I'm erring on that side. I don't think Chicago can win another game in this series. I think I did pick Miami in 7. What I've seen the last 2 games, I don't see how Chicago wins another. Boozer's not going to give you 26 and 17 again.
No.
I mean, he does a lot of pushing to grab the rebounds, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think it's going to happen again. It's turning into the Boston series, and I think the Heat are going to kind of run away with this one and represent the East in the finals before long.
And we're talking to Kevin Burke, HoopDoctors.com at Sports 630 KIDO, KIDOM.com, Terry Ford Show. I guess here's me on this whole thing. I see that thought process. Everybody's going with Miami because I picked Miami in 7 because I looked at both teams, and there's really 3.5 guys who can create offense on these two teams.
Yep.
You got LeBron, you got D-Wade, the half is Bosh, obviously, and Chicago's got Rose. Both teams are going to play very good defense. They're both going to guard. It's going to be ugly. So at the end of the day, the team with the more playmakers are going to win. That's why I took Miami.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
out of that process of elimination. But it's not because I love both of these teams, because I'll be honest with you, Chicago might be one of the worst 62-win teams ever.
Absolutely.
And so I look at these squads, I look at Miami, and only 3 guys are allowed to touch the ball after the end of the third quarter.
Seriously, yeah.
So
I'm thinking,
I look at it like I think Chicago can hang in there just because I don't think either one of these teams are great. I mean, again, I don't think it's going to go 7 anymore, dude. I've changed my thought on that. But I think Chicago can win another game and get it to 6. Miami will win. But I've just kind of revised myself to 6 instead of 7.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm really, watching this series, I'm not sure how they got to 62 wins. Like you said, Rose has been phenomenal, X Factor, MVP, of course. But, I mean, Wade and James, we took for granted, not we, you and I, but the basketball universe, I think, took for granted both of those guys being on the floor at the same time and what that would mean down the stretch come playoff time. It's really, I mean, Wade, what's his name? LeBron. Not his name. LeBron is really, earning his money. He's becoming clutch, like we said that he wasn't throughout the year. Chris Bosh, I feel good for the guy. He has to endure a lot lately. He's 30 points game 1, 10 points in game 2, but again 34 points last night. He's putting up. He's showing that he's kind of maybe earning half of the money that he got when he signed last summer, but. There's no way. There's no way the Bulls, maybe a game like you're saying, but there's absolutely no way. I mean, it's 2.5 versus 1. It really is. You're not going to get that out of Noah. Who else on the team is going to score consistently for you except for Rose? And in fact, in game 2, Rose was at 23 points on 21 shots, so he's a volume scorer, of course. If he's off, they're dead. And you know what? With the defense that the Heat are playing, he may be off in game 4.
Oh, no doubt. Kevin Burke, HoopDoctors.com at Sports 630 KIDO, KIDOM.com, Terry Ford Show. The other thing, and this is something you and I have discussed, so it's not like we're just jumping on the bandwagon here. LeBron James, the way old LBJ played last night, is to me the way LBJ needs to play. Yeah. He is such a good passer, but everybody wants him to be MJ or Kobe. And I've always said he's closer to, if you're going to pick a great player, because I'm not into this comparison business, he's more of Magic than he is any of these guys because he has such a great ability to set up his teammates.
Yep.
And what he did last night, Bosh ought to hand him part of his game check. Because, I mean, he dropped so many bounce passes to Bosh in the lane so Bosh could make a play, and he made some other passes that were just sweet, ends up with 10 assists. When LeBron is playing like that, still got his 22, that makes Miami a different team because you got a guy on the floor that can create for himself or create for other people, and he's trying to create for other people.
A guy of his caliber only took 13 shots, and he was the biggest difference maker in the game. I mean, he's a 20 times better passer than Derrick Rose is today. I mean,
oh, no doubt.
He's a top 5 playmaker. I don't think Rose is even in the top 10 as far as setting up other people goes.
Right.
Absolutely. He's closest comparison, Magic Johnson, but even so, Magic couldn't score like LeBron on his best day. So, I mean, just skill for skill, talent for talent. LeBron is, more talented than Magic, but absolutely. I mean, when he's that playmaker guy, when he is the point guard, which is why I have no idea why they even signed Mike Bibby in the first place, because they had a point guard, like I said then, and his name happens to be LeBron James. When he's doing that, that team is unbeatable for everything that you just said. If he's looking for Wade, he's looking for Bosh, who can, we gave him a hard time, but Bosh, he's decent. Not great, he's decent. When Bosh, he can play, but if those two guys, are not open or they're not on, he says, you know what, I'm tired of facilitating. Let me do my thing and let me score. I mean, and what kind of answer do the Bulls have for that? There is none. What kind of answer do the Thunder or potentially the Mavericks have for that? I don't see one either, which is why I'm jumping way ahead, but I do think that the Heat are going to win this year. I don't see how, either one of the 3 remaining teams can beat them in a 7-game series. I really don't.
We're talking to Kevin Burke, HoopDoctors.com at Sports 630 KIDO, KIDOM.com, Terry Ford Show. That's the thing, too. I mean, when I look at this, and look, I like Dirk. I like the Mavs. Again, I think I've told you this, I want to see the old farts win. I want to see Kid get a ring, Dirk get a ring, Jason Terry. It'd be funny to see David Stern have to give Goofy Mark Cuban the trophy while Cuban's wearing one of his T-shirts with the underarm stains. But it's just not going to happen because, look, as much as Dallas is trying to play defense now compared to past years, they still don't play defense the way the East plays defense.
Right.
And if you take the combination of Dallas or the Sonic Thunder, whoever makes it, and you put them on the court with Miami, who's going to play defense, and is all of a sudden going to have the ball on offense and go, wow, these guys can't guard us like the Celtics and the Bulls. This is good for us. I just don't see how any team in the West can beat Miami unless they totally go off the grid on offense.
Yeah, and there was a lot made about Chicago's defense in the regular season, Boston's defense in the regular season, Miami kind of to a lesser degree. We can see this is a great defensive team in both the half court and in transition. We saw last round, Rondo, he ran a Boston Marathon on the Knicks, grabbed the rebound, one-man fast break. That did not happen at all last series, partly because he broke his elbow bent the wrong way, but because Miami's transition defense. And absolutely right. I mean, Dallas, I picked Dallas in 6, as I believe you did as well, so I kind of want the old farts to win as well. But there's no way. I mean, there's no way. I mean, Dirk, he had his 48 points in game 1, and the world went crazy. It was a great 12 of 15, 24 of 24. But you know what? He's not going to shoot 24 free throws every game. And they did not front the post, the Sonic Thunder, as you said, not one time in game 1. They allowed Dirk to catch the ball in the post with the defender behind him in his sweet spot every time and go to work. It wasn't until game 2 Scott Brooks said, hey, wait a minute. Let's front the post. Let's make him work for it. Let's have him throw over the defender. When he catches the ball, double team comes over, get the ball out of his hands. His points have gone down. It was 48, now it's 29, and what was it, 18 in game 3? So there's a downward trend. So they figured that out. And Miami's a much better defensive team than the Thunder. So, I mean, the Thunder are not beating the Mavericks, I don't think. And there's no way, if they can contain Dirk, which I think that he can in the half court, this is going to be easy for Miami. It really is. And, I mean, I don't want to jump ahead, but I would just love to hear the reaction if and when the Heat do win it and what folks were saying about LeBron then.
And that was going to be my next thing real quick. Kevin Burke, HoopDoctors.com and Sports 630 KIDO, KDM.com, Terry Ford Show. If the Miami Heat win this thing,
oh my goodness,
and LeBron gets his ring,
oh my God,
is it a suicide watch in the city of Cleveland?
in the Dan Gilbert household, yeah, probably.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, because 45 minutes afterwards, he said we're going to win a ring before the LeBron does, and I'm not sure what he was on that day when he said that.
No doubt.
Yeah,
Heavy
absolutely.
dose of Jamarcus Russell codeine.
Exactly.
And the other part what that will do, and this is something that we've discussed, and I said LeBron's goofy decision was embarrassing and ridiculous and asinine. But the idea, and what it did is it masked the true idea of LeBron James, besides the fact I'd rather spend winter in South Beach and in Lake Erie, is the idea that I don't have any confidence in Cavalier ownership, the Cavalier front office, or the Cavalier coaching staff to win a ring. I have no confidence. And if you go down there to South Beach your first year and you win a ring with 2.5 players, if that doesn't stamp the indictment on the Cavalier organization, nothing does. Yeah,
what Dan Gilbert failed to acknowledge was, he didn't just, did he jump ship? Yeah, you can kind of say that, but why? Because you guys failed at your job. You didn't put the core around, Antoine Jameson and Shaq, give me a break, seriously.
Right.
You guys didn't put any real pieces around them. He went where there was already an established piece, Wade, Bosh comes through as well, and then here you go. So, yeah, absolutely. Dan Gilbert never, looked himself in the mirror and said, hey, maybe it's something that we didn't do here in the front office, Cavaliers brass, that made the guy leave. 7 years is a long time. That's as if he was there for a year and a half and demanded a trade.
Right.
No, he was there 7 years. At some point he kind of had to do what he had to do, and hey, it looks like it's working out for him as of today anyway. So we'll see.
Bro, they could cut down the nets with Joel Anthony, a 90-year-old Mike Bibby, a beaten-up Mike Miller, half a Udonis Haslem, something named Mario Chalmers, Juwan Howard, Lurch from the Addams Family, Eddie Fat Boy House, and James I Can Only Shoot 3 Jones. What does that tell you about the Cavaliers?
Can you imagine?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Juwan Howard has a son in college, and he's still in the NBA. That's neither here nor there, but I just find that fascinating. He's still in the NBA.
Oh, my God. Kevin Burke, HoopDoctors.com. I hear you're bagging out on us next week. What's up with you? You want a life or something?
I got a birthday coming up, and I'm headed down to Mexico.
Wow. Hey, bring me back
Riviera Maya, the Caribbean coast of Mexico.
Awesome. I just want some tequila, some cigars. You just hook me up, brother. Hook me up.
I got you.
All right. Hey, have a good trip, man. Enjoy yourself. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man.
See you, buddy.
Sounds good.
All right. Sports 630 KIDO, KDM.com. Terry Ford Show, Kevin Burke.